It's Mitchell Trubisky versus Nick Foles in Chicago. The winner gets a water pick. The loser sits on the bench. I had a chance to talk to GM Ryan Pace on Friday about the looming quarterback competition. Here's some of what Pace had to say.
Just because we didn't exercise a fifth-year option doesn't mean that we don't believe in Mitch. I mean, we did the same thing with Kyle Fuller a couple years ago, and it worked out really well for him. So Mitch is in a position right now, and he knows it. Matt and I met with him, and we were transparent. We were honest. It's a competition, and that's when I loved the way he approached it. I mean, I think once he digested it, you kind of see him clench his jaw and embrace it. And, hey, let's go. And I think it's going to be fun to see this play out. And again, both of those guys, I know it's just been virtual meetings, but Mitch and Nick have been awesome in those meetings, completely engaged. Competition really can't start till we start rolling in training camp. But you really like the mindset of both those players.
You can see the full interview at the PFTPM podcast. Chris, if it's close, who gets the win? They say in baseball the runner gets the tie. If it's a tie or something close to it, who's going to be the starter for the Bears week one?
I feel like usually the tie goes to the guy that was there already or the guy that was the starter in place, right? Like Mitchell Trubisky, since he was the starter last year and they went to the playoffs the year before that, when they get into training camp, he's going to get the first team reps, right? He'll get to go with them. And again, training camp, preseason, it's generic. You don't see a lot of crazy defenses. So, it's hard to separate yourself sometimes throughout the preseason and training camp practices and all of that. So I do think in a normal setting, the guy that's been there usually gets the tie, goes with the runner benefit there, Mike. But if I'm in Chicago and I think it's close, I'm going with Nick Foles. I am. I'll say this again. I think that everybody in that city is just waiting for Mitchell Trubisky to fail. If you start him the first time he throws an incompletion or an interception or does anything like that, it's going to be bluebirds and get Nick Foles in there. I think you're better off, if it's close, going with Nick Foles, see what he's got. If he stumbles and falls, then you bring Trubisky off the bench, and now the public's not on his back either. That would be my take.
See, I think if it's close, it does go to Foles because in the mind of Bears coach Matt Nagy, Foles is closer to being an incumbent. He's the incumbent in the offense. Trubisky is still the outsider trying to learn it and not learning it. Foles ran that offense most recently 2016 in Kansas City when Foles played during a time that Alex Smith had a concussion, and Matt Nagy, oh, by the way, was the offensive coordinator of the Bears of the Chiefs, at the time.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.